Now, we then must understand that because of the distortion in the definition of having gone from the study of what was the soul to being the study of behavior, we find a whole array of distortions which have followed from that, which serves as the basis for the problems that we have. Very briefly, and I don't want to spend most of my time on this, I just want to run through a brief of these descriptions of Western psychology. First of all, man is viewed as an object, and emphasis is placed upon objective methods for studying him. Meaning, of course, that it's assumed that all knowledge is external. Everything comes from the outside, including salvation. That the human being is no more than a tabula rasa that's imprinted upon by things in the environment. And the only way you can understand man is by objectively standing out and dealing with man as if he's a rat. In Western psychology, it is no longer legitimate to even ask a man what he thinks, because that's considered to be unscientific, unobjective, and therefore is not qualified to be put into the pursuit of scientific pursuit. The idea is that somehow objectivity is the virtue of science, and therefore to have anything which suggests that the person can have an intuitive, introspective, subjective awareness of himself is a recognition and a prostitution, if you will, of what has come to be known science. Secondly, quantification is the only accepted measure of reality. If you can't count it, it ain't real. The idea that anything that can't be put on a scale, a measure, a ruler, a scale of some sort to weigh it or measure it, it isn't real. So there's no such thing as intelligence if you can't put numbers on it. There's no such thing as happiness if you can't put numbers on it. You can't even be crazy unless you get a score above 70 on MMPI. So everything has to be quantified in order to be real. Third, the material world is viewed as essential, and the essence of man is assumed to be material. That means that body is being. That somehow what you are physiologically defines what you are as a human being. It defines the equation between a rat, a monkey, a roach, and a person. The idea being that since they're all bodies, since they're all material, then they're all the same thing. So the study of a rat tells you about the study of a human being because of the equation. Not only that, there's no need, of course, to pursue anything beyond the visible body. Anything before or after that could not be considered as relevant data. Number 4, there is no concept of a superior power or purpose of man. Therefore, man is sort of serendipitously here. He just growed, as Topsy said. He has no concept, he has no direction, he is a part of no order. There is nothing to look to man to expect of him because he pursues no particular track. Western psychology now, these are the lies we're talking about. Number 5, the observable activities of a person are the critical dimensions of his being. That's the behavioral thing again. What you see is what you get. Number 6, concepts such as soul, spirit, revelations, or any non-observable phenomena is viewed as superstition, delusion, or has no relevance to the understanding of man. 7, life and consciousness are identical with physical processes, meaning that brain is equivalent to mind. We can then tell you the concept of your mind by understanding the functioning of your brain. So the pursuit of knowledge of the mind is no more than pursuit of knowledge of the brain. If we can alter it chemically, we can change your mind. And your mind has nothing to do with the alteration of your chemistry because your mind is a servant of the chemistry, according to them. Man's individuality is paramount, and there is no transpersonal awareness, meaning that there is no such thing in Western psychology as a group or a collective mind. The whole idea of Africanity, the whole idea of African people, the whole idea of an ethos, the whole idea of a mentality that ties people together, that transcends their individuality, is absolutely unheard of and unaccepted in Western psychology. You are an individual, isolated being, and that's the extent of it. Number 9, man is a product of biological determinants, personal experiences, and chance. Self-explanatory. There is no correct order for man's development. He survives against odds by adaptation to his environment. We talked about that. Morality and values have no meaning outside of personal experience. Therefore, if there's no order, then you don't expect people to do anything. Therefore, they can do anything as they do in this society. If you assume that there's no particular project, no particular direction, no particular sense to the nonsense, then morality is meaningless. So therefore, in Western psychology, all they do is observe it, feed it back, and often see it. and therefore begin to create the greatest perverts the world has ever known here in Western society. The child molesters, all the rest of the goody things that has been created by this concept that thinking that morality is the purview of the church and not the purview of effective human development. Number 12, and most devastating of all, death of the body is death of the mind, and one need not attend to life before or after the body. Now, this is Western psychology, and in the process of making these conclusions, of locking us in to this limited time phase of 2 years or 2 months or 70 years or 60 years or 65 years, from the moment of birth in this plane to death in this plane, to define the totality of human consciousness as belonging there, they have blocked our expansion to reach beyond time and throughout the whole universe. But psychology is narrow-minded. That's why you've got narrow, limited, tiny, itsy-bitsy people who have not begun to grasp their potential in this society. That's Western psychology. Let's move on. 2 things account for this that I'd just like to mention briefly because this is an entirely different discussion. Sexism and racism. By dividing the world up into 2 phases, mind and body and all the other dualisms, male and female, and making the 2 absolutely separate from each other, they have created an illusion that any characteristic that's associated with female therefore has no place in understanding the functioning of real mind. The concept of psyche or soul having historical connection with femininity, which of course has a Kemetic root too, presumes then that soul stuff is inferior stuff. So therefore soul has no place in the scientific, powerful, masculine tradition of Western science. So that fear of femininity, that fear of spirituality, that fear of anything that they have put into the realm of the feminine is eliminated. And then to add on top of that, there is the blatant racism. Dr. Diop has said in his comments, he says, the common denominator which characterizes the mindset of Egyptologists as repeated in their various speeches about ancient Africa, is their seeming desperate necessity and unrelentless attempt to refute ancient Africa's blackness. It was scary to accept the fact that black people built what they had to emulate. It's painful for them to internalize the concept that their society, their civilization is rooted in something that emanated out of the minds of the people who they chose to define as being inferior. So the fear of women and the fear of African people combined together to create this overwhelming fear which made them run away from the other side of themselves. And in running away from the other sides of themselves, they created this prostituted and prevaricated so-called science which excludes the most significant component. The fundamental error of dividing man up in this dichotomous way and putting him into mind, into body, and making that which is mind and spirit either become feminine or superstitious or mystical or spiritual, which of course women and black people have a lot of. So they talk about black magic and mysticism and all that spiritual stuff among African people, but they do it in a derogatory and a degrading sense. The idea is that spirituality is inferior to science. In order to speak profoundly, one must speak scientifically, because that's that weak stuff. But it's very significant that they gave what they could not handle to those who they could not accept. And they gave that which they could not understand to those who gave them all that they have. And in the process of doing so, they divided their own potential for development. That's why we need to redeem them and redeem ourselves before they kill us.